Welcome to this webinar, where we will discuss the importance of succession planning within your firm.
Let's just be clear up front, this is not the type of planning exercise in creating a mandatory retirement age. This is just another tool in the firm's toolbox to ensure that it survives and thrives for many years to come.
One more point to make early on is that succession planning is a one-size-fits-one endeavor. We encourage you to think about this when you start the planning process. Each person's strategy, client transition plan, etc., will look very different, but each one should look to the firm's strategic plan for their overarching goal and direction.
So in an ideal world, let's just watch this video.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake. Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this. Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
15 years notice, wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, in an ideal firm environment, everyone would be looking ahead to consider what is next and also what is best for their clients and for the law firm. Giving ample notice to both the firm and to your clients is key to making the process seamless and less stressful for all involved.
In addition, having a clear plan in place provides direction for those who will be taking the reins moving forward. So the current landscape. Altman-Weil's analysis of U.S. and Canadian bar demographics indicates that 30 to 40% of actively practicing attorneys are at an age and stage where they're beginning to retire, phase down, or contemplate phasing. While did a few years ago, we're coming up on a critical time in law firms when planning for client succession, as well as leadership succession, is critical. Where does Parker Poe stand today? Have we done an analysis on our current attorneys?
Three very important items to consider when thinking about the firm and succession plans include integrating the planning into the firm's overall strategic plan, engaging the firm's clients when creating those succession plans, and creating your future leaders now. You don't want to leave that up to chance. We will discuss each of these now.
So first and foremost, the firm should create a statement that encompasses what we're looking to accomplish when planning for succession. We've included a sample statement above that considers both the attorneys who have worked to build Parker Poe in the firm that it is today, as well as the attorneys that are looking to be the future of the firm and to build on the successes of those who've come before then. So, for example, the firm will reward a partner who spent his or her career building the law firm as well as their practice, or they'll give an opportunity to the next generations of attorneys who want to grow with the firm and lead the firm into the future.
A statement like this provides both direction and encouragement, as well as sets a platform that serves all involved. Succession also needs to be on the agenda item at every internal practice group meeting as well as board meeting. It is important to evaluate ongoing efforts regularly to ensure that plans are being created and followed.
So, what's the big plan? We want to let you in on a couple questions that you should be asking to determine what this big plan should be. First, what's the firm's approach to succession planning? If you don't know the answer, you need to ask the question. Next, who are your firm's and/or practice group's top clients, i.e., which 20% bring in the 80% of the revenues? Who manages those client relationships? And are any of those client managers within 5 to 7 years of retirement? We need to make a list. The next thing we need to make a list on is there anyone else working with those clients? Finally, which senior staff members will retire within the next 5 to 7 years? Are there plans in place to make sure that their roles are covered, even after their retirement? These lists will serve as the base for planning purposes and can be used by senior management when they meet for those who have created succession plans to determine where they are in the process and where help is needed for the future.
So to get to some of the details, you need to determine what the biggest areas of need are that need to be addressed immediately. So identifying those who are ready for retirement, those lists that you would have created from the previous slide, including both attorneys within your firm as well as firm clients. And as you look to transition clients, do your due diligence when matching your successors. For example, think about the background on these clients. What age are they? Where did they attend school? Where did they grow up? What is their experience within the company that they're running? Next, establish the transition team, which includes both staff members and attorneys. Set quarterly goals and communication standards for the team, and evaluate progress and create open dialogue for all feedback. And most importantly, provide education, training, and support for every member of the team. These details will be at the heart of each plan, but like we stated earlier, each person's plan will be unique to their client mix, age, their plans for retirement, for example, whether or not they plan to leave the firm immediately upon retiring, or if they choose to phase down their practice slowly, as well as the team of individuals that they have in place that are working with them on the transition.
Now, there are a few potential obstacles that we need to talk about. Before engaging in the succession process, let's consider the following. First, is there a state of retiring attorney? Will the person aid in the transition? Next, how will compensation for the retiring attorney be determined? Is there a sunset option for the partners that are retiring? This is a really important thing that we need to consider. Next, look at how origination credits will be reallocated. And how will the client perceive the transition? Don't forget about that client. Are you matching the successors appropriately? These are all important items for Parker Poe to consider when working with individuals on their succession plans. Each one of these needs to be carefully considered and molded to the individual attorney's practice, age, etc.
And remember, it is always about your clients. This is one area where many firms fall short. They don't consider their clients or even talk with them when working through their succession plans. Clients are at the heart of the firm and what you focus on daily, so they should be at the heart of your succession planning process. For example, talk with your clients about your plans, especially how the transition relates to their matters in their files. Are any of your clients considering retirement? And who is their successor? Have you made those connections internally so that the successor is less likely to go to quote-unquote his guy when the time comes to take over? Have you zippered up all of the relationships both internally as well as at the client? So that means connections at all levels. And also, have you thought about how to transfer the knowledge that you have to others within the firm?
Succession planning discussions should be included in the client feedback meetings as well as individual client discussions that you have ongoing throughout the year.
Your clients want to know that they will have great counsel in the years to come, and that the years that they have spent with Parker Poe and the knowledge gained by the firm over the years will not be lost with the retirement of a key attorney.
In John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, his 21st law is the law of legacy, which reads, "A leader's last value is measured by his succession." Think about your legacy within this firm. All of the years that you've spent building the firm and bringing in clients that you enjoy working with each day, what's next for them? Are you providing them with a successful future? And at the same time, are you providing Parker Poe's next generation of attorneys with a clear understanding that they have a future with this firm?
Another consideration is how you are growing your internal leadership. Is this part of your strategic plan? Are you evaluating now who will lead the firm in the future and providing them with the necessary training and guidance to set them on the best path possible? So as you look to developing this next generation, some things to evaluate. How well do these folks manage their own time? How well do they manage those who work with them? And more importantly, are they actively developing those around them? How well do they manage their cases? And how are they at building great client relationships? And how do they manage those relationships?
These are all great points, and we need to keep this list up to date, regularly meeting with and evaluating those who work with you and Tapt for management to ensure that your firm is ready for the next step in firm leadership. Here are some keys to success. Outline a clear vision for the firm's future. Next, make sure that you have profitable, deep, and strong relationships with the firm's best clients. And last, invest in the firm's future leaders. Provide your firm with a huge competitive advantage.
As was clear in the Altman-Weil survey, succession is certainly on the minds of most law firms out there, and if it isn't, it definitely should be. But as with most things, there is a gap between knowing something is important and actually having a plan in place to address it. If you set the wheels in motion now to plan for the future of your firm, you will be ahead of your competition, and clients will appreciate that you know your firm and where you are headed in the future, and they will be comfortable coming right along with you.
Heather and I have enjoyed talking with you today. If you have any questions about how to get started with your succession plan, you can always reach out to a member of the Marketing BD team, or feel free to reach out to me or Heather. Our contact information is included within these slides.
Thank you for taking time to participate, and we wish you all the best with your future planning efforts.